Imagine living your life as an ordinary man, going about your day, only to be suddenly abducted, with no explanation, and imprisoned for 15 long years in a small, grimy room. You're left alone to rot, your only companions being a TV, occasional meals, and the suffocating darkness. This is the world we're thrown into at the beginning of Oldboy, 2023, a remaster of the critically acclaimed South Korean thriller. The film starts with Oh Dae-su, a seemingly ordinary businessman. It's 2003, and we find Dae-su in a drunken stupor, creating a scene at a police station after being detained for public intoxication. He's loud, obnoxious, and unapologetic. A friend, Ju-hwan, arrives to bail him out. As they prepare to leave, Dae-su takes a call to speak to his young daughter, Yoo-jin, promising to come home with a gift. But fate has other plans for him that night. Dae-su mysteriously disappears on his way home, leaving his friend bewildered. When Dae-su awakens, he finds himself in a strange, windowless room that resembles a cheap motel. The room is small, with no windows, and only a single door with a food slot. He has no idea who put him there or why. There's no explanation, no demands, and no human interaction, just 4 walls and a TV broadcasting the world he can no longer reach. As the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months, Dae-su realizes that he's completely alone. The TV becomes his lifeline, his only connection to the outside world. Through the news, he learns that his wife has been brutally murdered, and shockingly, he has been framed for the crime. Dae-su is devastated, confused, and slowly driven to madness. He attempts suicide multiple times, but his captors intervene to save him, ensuring that he stays alive. To keep himself sane, Dae-su begins training. He uses the walls as a punching bag, strengthening his body, preparing for a day when he might escape. As years go by, he tattoos tally marks on his arm to keep track of how long he's been imprisoned. But just as he's about to give up hope, something changes. One day, after exactly 15 years, he is unexpectedly released. Dae-su wakes up on the roof of a building, disoriented and blinded by the sunlight he hasn't seen in over a decade. He finds a mysterious man holding an umbrella who cryptically tells him, "Your game begins now." Dae-su, now free but deeply scarred by his years of imprisonment, is determined to find out who did this to him, and most importantly, why. As he navigates the bustling city streets, Dae-su is overwhelmed by the modern world that has moved on without him. He's a changed man, hardened, ruthless, and consumed by a burning desire for revenge. While eating at a sushi restaurant, he meets Mi-do, a kind and compassionate young chef who is intrigued by his odd demeanor. Despite Dae-su's rough exterior, Mi-do feels drawn to him and offers to help him. Dae-su, suspicious of everyone, is initially hesitant, but eventually accepts her aid. Using the few clues he has, Dae-su begins tracking down the people who were involved in his captivity. His investigation leads him to an old friend, Ju-hwan, who provides some information but is soon murdered under mysterious circumstances. It's clear that Dae-su is being watched, and that someone is playing a twisted game with him. His search leads him to a mysterious and wealthy man named Woo-jin, who reveals himself as the orchestrator behind Dae-su's 15-year imprisonment. Woo-jin is not just another villain. He's a master manipulator who seems to take pleasure in watching Dae-su struggle. In a twisted game of cat and mouse, Woo-jin taunts Dae-su, challenging him to figure out the reason behind his imprisonment within 5 days. If Dae-su succeeds, Woo-jin promises to kill himself. If he fails, something far worse awaits. Dae-su's investigation takes him deeper into his own past. He remembers a high school he once attended and a scandal that occurred years ago. It turns out that back in his school days, Dae-su had inadvertently witnessed an intimate moment between Woo-jin and his sister, Sua. Dae-su casually spread a rumor about what he saw, which eventually snowballed out of control, leading to Sua's tragic death. Consumed with grief, Woo-jin vowed to destroy Dae-su's life as revenge for his sister's demise. But the true horror of Woo-jin's revenge goes far beyond mere imprisonment. In a shocking twist, Dae-su discovers that Woo-jin didn't just imprison him physically, he manipulated his mind and heart. Over the course of the film, Dae-su develops a close relationship with Mi-do. They grow intimate, sharing secrets and forming a bond. But in the film's most gut-wrenching revelation, Dae-su discovers that Mi-do is, in fact, his own daughter. Woo-jin orchestrated their relationship as the ultimate act of revenge, turning Dae-su's life into a living nightmare. Realizing the horrifying truth, Dae-su is shattered. He confronts Woo-jin, begging for mercy. In a desperate attempt to protect Mi-do from the truth, Dae-su mutilates himself, cutting out his own tongue as a gesture of penance. Woo-jin, however, is unrelenting. Having achieved his revenge, he leaves Dae-su broken and defeated. In a final twisted act, Woo-jin takes his own life, leaving Dae-su to live with the unbearable knowledge of what he has done. In the closing scenes, Dae-su seeks out the help of a hypnotist to erase his memories, hoping to live without the torment of knowing what he did with his daughter. As Dae-su reunites with Mi-do, they embrace. But the film leaves us with an ambiguous ending. Has Dae-su truly forgotten, or is he merely pretending, forever trapped in the prison of his mind? Oldboy is a relentless exploration of the human psyche, a dark tale of revenge, regret, and the depths of cruelty. It forces us to question the cost of vengeance and whether some truths are better left buried. The 2023 remaster breathes new life into this chilling story, enhancing its visuals while preserving the raw emotional impact of the original. This is not just a film. It's an experience that lingers long after the credits roll.